Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here for MUSIC-A-THON Day 3, and for today's video I'm here to do my mid-year goals check-in. So this is something I have tried to do every single year. I don't think I missed a year yet, where I just check in on my goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I'll link my video that I did this year up on the cards for you guys if you want to check that out. And yeah, some of these have definitely not been completed, and some of them probably will not be completed by the end of the year because of the current state of the world. So yeah, let's jump in and get started with talking about my goals. Well, I did split those up into 4 different sections. As far as goals, I have my reading, my YouTube and social media goals. I also have writing goals and life goals. I'm always going to start off with my reading goals. For the first goal I set for myself, which was my Goodreads reading challenge, I set it at 35 books this year. As of recording this video, I've read 28 books, which means I am 10 books ahead of schedule according to Goodreads, so that's great. The reading goal I set for myself this year was to read all of my review books, or at least a good chunk of them. And I have read 3 review books this year, which makes me feel terrible, but I have been in a situation where I haven't had control over how much time I have to read, unfortunately, with the whole pandemic going on. And I've enjoyed all the review books I've read this year. It's not like I haven't enjoyed them. It's just like I don't have my time to dedicate to reading them right now, but I hope to change that in the second half of the year. My reading goal was to read 10 books by New England or Bostonian authors. So I grew up in Boston. I've lived here my entire life, so I want to support local authors. That was a big goal for me this year. I think last year as well. And so far this year, I've read 3 books by New England Bostonian authors. Again, I do want to make that a priority going into the second half of the year. So that is that. 3 goals are more genre-specific goals. The 4th reading goal I set was to read 5 manga, and I have read none so far this year. And that's because I don't really know where to start. I have never been interested in manga until recently. I grew up with some anime. I watched Pokemon, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched all those growing up. So I know what anime is like. I just haven't read any manga. And I am looking for some recommendations for beginners. If you guys read manga, let me know in the comments down below any good starting places. I do own the first volume of Fruits Basket. I bought that off of Amazon a couple of months ago. I want to say I bought it back in like April or May. So I do own one, but I haven't yet read it. So again, hope to change that in the second half of the year. My reading goal was to read 5 adult fantasy. I've read 1 this year. I read the first book in the Witcher series back in January. I loved it. Have yet to continue on with that. The genre specific goal I set for myself was to read 5 adult romances. Now, I'm usually not a huge contemporary romance reader. It's just not my thing. But my favorite book of 2019 was an adult romance, and that was my real first adventure into the genre, and I did, again, really enjoy it. It was my favorite book of 2019. So it is something I want to give a try. I did start one back in, I want to say February. It was during Contemporary-a-thon. I didn't finish it, but I do want to go back to it, so we'll see if that happens in the second half of the year. School is definitely one that probably will not be completed this year, and that was to go to 2 book signings. And I had plans to go to a couple before the pandemic hit and, canceled everything. Obviously can't go to those right now. We'll see if anything changes in the second half of the year. Next one was to read 10 ebooks, and I have read 2 or 3 this year. I think I've only read 2. Both were review books, and I am just not a big fan of ebooks personally. It's just not my thing, and that is kind of why I'm also behind on my review books, because a lot of them are an ebook edition. So I really need to hunker down on this goal again in the second half of the year and get caught up on the ones I own from either Kindle or from the publishers or NetGalley. We'll see if that changes. The next goal was to listen to 10 audiobooks. I have read 7 so far this year. This has been kind of a lifesaver and my saving grace over the past few months since coronavirus did hit, because I don't always have the time, being an essential worker, to sit down and read a physical book. So I've really been turning to audiobooks this year. I have loved basically every single one of them. I don't think I've only given one audiobook less than 3 stars this year out of the 7 I read. So I've been enjoying them, and I really hope to read more. Next goal was to read all of the books on my top 10 to read in 2020 list, which I'll link on the screen. I have read 1 book off of that list this year. Whoopsie. I'm in the middle of a second one, but that book is over 1,000 pages long, so that's going to take me a while to read. So again, need to hunker down on this one. The last reading goal I set for myself was to finish 5 series. Now, technically, I've only finished 1. that all the books are out and I've read every single one of them. I've technically only finished one series this year, but I have caught up on 2 or 3 more series that not all the books are out. Good example of that would be with the Wayward Children series. I binge read all 5 of those books that are out right now in the span of like 3 or 4 weeks, back in April and May. So I am all caught up on that, and I'm also caught up on a couple of series that I got the first book for review, and now I am waiting for the second one to be released, if that makes sense. So if I am counting the ones that I did catch up on, that all the books that are out in the series right now I have read, I have completed 3. If you're not counting those, I've only completed 1. The last reading goal I set for myself this year was to read half of the books on the Great American Reads list. I've read, I think, 1. Don't quote me on that. I would have to check the list again. I've reread another one. I reread Harry Potter earlier in April for the Owls, but I've only read, again, that was a reread for me, so I've only read 1 brand new book to me, if that makes any sense. Now on to my YouTube goals. The first one of those was to co-host 3 read-a-thons. I have co-hosted 2 so far this year. I am obviously hosting MUSIC-A-THON right now, and then I also co-hosted, I count read-alongs as read-a-thons as well. I co-hosted the Throne of Glass read-along with Sassy Cassie, Brittany's Book Find, and Phantom of Books over the course of April of last year to March of this year. So that was that, and I think I am planning on at least having 1 more read-a-thon happen in the second half of the year with Dystopia-thon. Nothing is set in stone right now, but I do plan on having that happen sometime probably in September or October. I'll keep you guys posted on that, obviously. But so far, 2 read-a-thons down. Next is the goal that probably will not be completed by the end of the year, and that's to post 1 review a month. Now, back when I first started my channel, I posted reviews constantly, like consistently and constantly. Whenever I would finish a book, I would record a review and post it for you guys. And since like middle of 2017, I kind of stopped doing reviews, which is weird because some of my most popular videos are review videos. So I don't know why I've stopped, and I've been making this a goal to post them like once a month every single year for the past like 2 or 3 years, and I just haven't done it, so I need to hunker down on this again in the future. Next YouTube goal was to do some secret TBR projects, and again, this is something that I'm kind of in the process of doing. I am in the middle of one right now. I just started it. I was in the middle of another, but I have since scrapped that because there was some controversy surrounding the author that made me just decide not to post it right now, maybe do it again in the future. But I'll keep you guys posted. I just started a brand new one that hopefully you guys will be seeing in August or September if I can get my shit together and complete the TBR in a timely manner. So yes, I am doing some secret TBR projects. Just to do a stream on Twitch, which was a goal last year as well, I want to say. Now, Twitch is something that I have been really turning to the past couple of years. I kind of been slowly like moving away from YouTube a little bit, and turning myself over to Twitch because of gaming. When I was in my massive reading slump for 13 months last year, and then in 2018 as well, I really got into gaming, and I really do want to do a stream on Twitch. I just haven't had the time. So hopefully, again, in the second half of the year, I will be doing that. The last YouTube goal I had set for myself was something I just did for fun, and that was to hit 250 subscribers on YouTube. And we are very, very close. Obviously, if this happens, that'd be great. If not, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, it's just fun to do this like monthly or yearly subscriber goal for my channel over the course of a year and see what happens. But again, not a big deal if I don't hit that. On to writing goals, and the first one of those is to finish the first draft of my fantasy novel, which I haven't touched any of my writing projects at all this year. This fantasy novel was one I started in NaNoWriMo of 2017, and I actually won NaNoWriMo with it that year. And I haven't touched it since. I meant to rewrite it back in the NaNoWriMo of 2018, but stuff came up and I couldn't do that, and then haven't touched it since. So I'm definitely feeling on that. And going along the same lines was also to finish the first draft of my contemporary novel, which was my NaNoWriMo project of 2019. And again, haven't touched it since the middle of NaNoWriMo last year. So again, hopefully I can touch those projects sometime this year. The final writing goal I set was to do NaNoWriMo 2020. This happens in November. It's a month-long writing project where you try to write a 50,000 word novel in 30 days. If you guys do not know, I've done it I want to say I've done it every single year since I've been on BookTube. Again, I won it once with my fantasy novel back in 2017, and that is that. So hopefully I can do it again this year. Final section of goals I have is my life goals, and the first one of those was to hit my Weight Watchers goal by September. So Weight Watchers, I joined back in late September of 2019 because I've been struggling with my weight for years, and it really worked for me. I did it for about 6 to 8 months, and I really enjoyed the process. And then coronavirus hit, and I ended up canceling my membership, at least for the time being, because with the meetings and going in person, we obviously can't do that right now. So the entire state of Massachusetts shut everything down, so I ended up canceling my membership, but I do hope to go back on it in the fall once stuff starts to reopen. So that is that. Last goal for 2020 was to go back to dance, and this kind of ties in with Weight Watchers. I did dance for 19 years. It was my passion. I loved it. It was like my second home. And I did dance at a studio for 15 and did it at my college for 4. And then my college recently got rid of the dance program with classes and the dance club and everything like that. So I was really hoping to go back to my old studio back in September once, I'm able to, and once I hit my Weight Watchers goal. But obviously, again, that's not going to happen with the state of the world right now. So again, maybe, possibly, if it does reopen, I will go back, but I highly doubt this. For today's video, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if not already. I am posting a new video every single day during MUSIC-A-THON, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell to be notified for when I post a new video. I'm sure to let me know in the comments down below what some of your yearly goals were this year and how you're doing on them, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below for you guys to check out if you'd like to follow me on any of those. And all being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for MUSIC-A-THON Day 4. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!